Okay, so I started recording. So you don't just enable the recording, so it will disturb us. So before jumping into the class, let me introduce myself. So myself is Praveen Kumar. I have total around 16 years of IT experience. Initially, I started my career as an Linux administration. Then later on, I jumped into the AWS cloud, and after that, I worked as a DevOps engineer, and parallelly, I'm working as an Azure administration and the DevOps engineer. So as a teaching experience, previously I used to teach Linux administration and I used to teach AWS. So currently I'm taking classes on Azure administration and Docker and Kubernetes, and I have very good experience on the DevOps courses also. But as of now, currently I'm teaching only Azure and Docker and Kubernetes. So before going into the deep dive about the Azure classes, so first of all, we should have a very good idea about cloud. So what is cloud? So basically, in generally, if you talk about what is cloud, what is a cloud in our day-to-day life? If you talk about what is cloud, okay, can anyone send me the message in the chat like what you know about cloud? In general, forget about the IT world, all this Azure or AWS. In general, in our common man day-to-day life, are we using the cloud services? Yeah, pay as you go internet services, on-demand delivery, accessing services over the internet, yeah, to store the data. Yes, very good example. Gmail, virtual servers, services providing by internet. Very good. Yeah, most of your people know that like what is the cloud in our day-to-day life is like a very good example is Gmail. And in our mobile, we use Google Photos. We, instead of storing in our local mobile, we are storing photos into the Google Photos so that we can save space in our local storage. Same way, WhatsApp backup, we are storing in the Google Drive. When someone else is providing the service and we are using it, that is called as a cloud service, right? So before cloud has been started, like we should talk about this IT evolution. Like for example, previously we used to have a data centers. So what is a data center? Let's say if I want to start any business, okay, in the very like whenever this internet world is started, maybe in the 95 2000 onwards, whenever this internet is started, a lot of people started using the services. So if anyone want to start any business, so they need to have some infrastructure. So what they need to have, first of all, they should have one data center, and inside this data center they should have network, and they should have storage, and they should maintain some cooling, because the servers, if it doesn't have cooling, the servers will crash. So that's why we need to maintain the cooling and the manpower, and we should have electricity. And electricity also, we should have a uh, redundancy electricity. If one main power goes down, the servers should not come down, so we should have alternate power supply. So we should have electricity and internet and lot of other stuff like dust free environment and security for your application, your security for your database security. So lot of stuff is required. So to maintain all this, we need to invest lot of money. So as a startup company, let's say if as a startup, this is a starting business, so you need to invest a lot of money, and you need to invest a lot of money to start this data center. Okay, so generally how the servers will be like, this will be your data center, and a lot of physical servers will be placed inside this one, and a lot of switches and a lot of storage capacity will be there. Why? Because whatever these physical servers are there, whatever the application runs, when the application started initially, the users will be very less. For example, recently if you see chat gpt users, all of a sudden in 5 days it reaches 1 million of users has been created. So same like when your business is started, initially it may be slow, very small amount of users might be accessing your application, but by day passes, lot of users might be accessing your application, and they are going to, please don't write anything on the screen, okay? So users count will be increased, and backend the storage is also increased. So the capacity storage also needs to be provided. So internally servers doesn't have any storage capacity, and there should be a separate storage should be available. Okay. So this is about the data center. Apart from this, slowly once this data center has been started, like most of the companies whenever they want to start their business, so they used to go in this way. They should have one closed rooms and a lot of servers and the switches, routers. And after that, slowly revolutionary became like a virtualization. So virtualization came into the market. So what this virtualization will do, so here, instead of running one physical server, so you can run multiple applications in the same server. And what is the advantage of it? For example, if this physical server, if you want to run multiple applications, you cannot run. Like for example, if you have OS inside this physical server, on top of this, you'll run applications. Okay. So this application, you cannot run multiple applications. Why? Because whenever this physical server goes down, then multiple applications will get affected. Or else, if there is some problem with the specific application, and if you want to restart the server, because of that one application, you need to reboot the complete physical box. So that is the reason previously companies not used to prefer multiple applications on the single server. So they should run only single application. So if this is a machine and this is an operating system, and this is an application. So the disadvantage of this scenario is, if this machine is having 16 GB of RAM and 8 CPUs, this application might not use all the capacity which this physical server contains. So in this way, you are not using your resources in a efficient manner. So that's the reason virtualization came into the picture. So what virtualization will do? So if you take the same physical server, so you can install hypervisor. So if you install hypervisor on top of this, you can run multiple guest OS. So each individual operating system, like one will be Windows operating system and another will be Linux operating system, Red Hat Linux or Ubuntu machine, multiple guest operating systems you can install with the help of this hypervisor. So if some problem with this application, you can able to restart it and you can able to delete it if it doesn't require. And whatever the resources this physical machine contains, let's say 16 GB and 8 CPUs, then you can utilize in an efficiency manner. So how much resources is required for each machine, you are going to allocate only that much of resources. Let's say this machine requires 4 GB and you are going to allocate 4 GB and 2 CPUs, then only you can provide. And still if this machine is utilizing only half of this, then again you can retain back half of the resources from this virtual machine. So in this way, two advantages. One is cost. You can save lot of cost and you can save lot of space also in your data center. Instead of running multiple physical machines, hundreds of machines, if virtualization comes to the picture, then lot of space is going to be reduced. With that, lot of savings also can be saved for the data center. So after this virtualization also, now as a startup company, let's take in the current scenario, maybe in 2015 to now till 2023. For example, if I want to start any startup company, then I need to have all these scenarios. Maybe I need to have this data center, I need to have buy these servers, and I need to have the manpower, everything. So instead of investing this 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs, or maybe for example, let's say recently we faced COVID situation. So I started a business. Let's take Uber kind of a car servicing, car providing service. We launched one application like Ola, if you take. Okay. So what happens? I invested some 50 lakhs of rupees and I started this business and I have a data center. And inside this data center, all these facilities, server, storage, network, cooling for ACs and electricity, multiple electricities, everything we invested and started the business. After 5 months, COVID started. So because of this COVID, no one is coming out and no one is using the cab service. So if no one is using the cab service, at least if it is for 1 month or 2 months, okay, we can bear the losses. But it went for years, 1 year or 2 years. So till that time, if no one is using our cab services and we just came into the market, so we cannot bear the losses. So what we are going to do? We are going to shut down this complete data center. Why? Because we cannot maintain this. So we'll close this business completely and we are going to get huge loss around like whatever we invested, 50 lakhs or 1 crore, whatever we invested. So instead of that, in current scenario, we can go with the cloud services. So what is the cloud service? What it will do? So in the cloud services, they are going to provide you everything, whatever it was available in the data center, and they will give you whatever you want to start your application. Only thing is you just need to have the internet, just access. For example, if it is an Azure, then go to the portal.azure.com, portal.azure.com, or if it is AWS, aws.amazon.com. Just if you go to their portal and you can create whatever you want for your servers, storage, network, databases, anything, whichever location you want. They are providing data centers in the multiple regions, in the multiple countries. They are providing the data centers. So what is the cloud here? Nothing but collection of data centers maintaining by some vendor. Same this service whatever we are using in our own data center, same kind of service they are creating in different countries with the same data center concept, and they are giving those access within a website. So with the help of that website, we can go and we can create the services whatever you want. So same scenario, if I want to start a business now as a startup company, I no need to invest 50 lakhs of rupees or 1 crore of rupees to start my business. I just need an internet connection and few manpower resources I need required. And with that help of that, I can create what are the resources I want. The advantage is if the business is not working, as I said, as the COVID occurs, lot of businesses. So same way if happens, then immediately you can ask or you can just go and shut down your servers, whatever you created and what are the application is running, everything you can shut down. And by that time, whatever you are using, you are going to just pay the bill for that and you can log out everything. So you can save a lot of money. This is the one advantage. And second advantage is you no need to invest hundreds of like lakhs of rupees to start a business. Previously, if anyone want to start a business, even though they might be having idea, but because of this investment point of view, people might not started that startup companies. But because of these cloud services, everyone can go and start their own idea, they can start their own businesses. And in the DevOps scenario, this applications deployment is also becoming like deployment is very faster with the help of this cloud. Why? Because let's say, I'm not sure whether how many of you are aware about the DevOps, but just an example I want to take. If a DevOps guy want to deploy an application, but in the traditional data center, you don't have the server, then what you are going to do? You will intimate to the data center team and they will talk to HP or IBM, and they will buy the server, and they will take a lot of time to deliver that server in the data center. And then it needs to be OS team needs to configure it, and then it should be handed over to the application guys. Then it will be deployed. So it will take a lot of time. But in the cloud, if a DevOps guy want to deploy an application, always servers are ready, whichever servers, so they can go and deploy. So no need to wait for longer period. So by this way, the applications can also be deployed very faster. So that's the reason current companies are starting with the cloud, and whoever the existing companies you are using this managed like these data centers, they are also slowly moving into the cloud services. Okay, for startup companies, this is good idea to go to the cloud, but why the existing customers who are already having data center, why they want to go to the cloud? Because maintaining data center is like a lot of manpower is required and a lot of licensing part is required. Like for example, uh, if I'm using iPhone 4 in current scenario, will it work? It is not going to work. Why? Because the hardware is not going to support with the latest iOS. Same way, whatever the applications are running in current today, so they are not going to run with the older hardware. So whoever maintaining the data centers, they need to keep on upgrade their hardware with the latest hardware technology. So that is also costing a lot for them. And licensing part, virtualization licensing, a lot of other backup services licensing, database licensing, all other licensing also they should maintain. So to maintain all this infrastructure, there are separate manpower is also required. So once if they go to the cloud, they can reduce lot of billing from this managed data center. So that's the reason existing customers also migrating to the cloud services. So now coming to the cloud, like people might ask, okay, everything is good, like everything is moving to the cloud, but which cloud we should learn? Like currently in the market, AWS cloud is there, right? Azure cloud, GCP. These are the, as of now, these three are more popular compared to other clouds. But this cloud concept is started by the AWS. So AWS always popular. So now, even though Azure started lately, but in 2010 they started, but now they also came into the market. And the very good advantage to the Azure. Why now most of the companies are preferring Azure, and why lot of openings on the Azure? Because Azure not only is into the cloud. For example, AWS, if you take, AWS is having only maintaining the data centers and they're providing the services. But before coming to the cloud, Azure is a product of Microsoft. So Microsoft is having their own products like a MS SQL database and Office 365 and Windows operating system. So whatever the applications which are developed on the .NET programming, then obviously they should run on the Windows operating systems only. And most of the people will use Office 365. In every company they use Office 365 and Active Directory for login purpose. Active Directory is mandatory. So these are the some famous products from the Microsoft Azure. So for example, I'm a like client and I'm using these products of Microsoft, then obviously Microsoft is going to give me more offers to run their softwares on their cloud instead of going to some other cloud. So that's why most of the people are converting to the Azure. And not only this reason, they are giving very good service and a very good competitor to the AWS also. So that's the reason Azure is also becoming more popular these days and is becoming equal in the globally, it is equal to the Amazon also. Okay, so this is about like the basic idea, because whenever you are going to the cloud, first of all you should understand before coming to the cloud how the applications were running and what kind of environment it was running, the servers and virtualization technology, all these things. Then if you go to the cloud, then easily you can able to understand. Okay, and coming to the Azure, like Azure is having a like Microsoft always, even before this also, whenever Microsoft having this Microsoft Windows Server certifications, they will have the codes. Okay, this code belongs to this certification, this code belongs to this certification. Same way for Azure also, they are provided some certifications. So initially they were like 50, 532 and 70, 50, 533 and 534, 535. So these are the starting certification names they given for the Microsoft Azure. So what is this 532? Development and database related, and 533 is related to the infrastructure, means which we are talking about, like Azure administration infrastructure. And 534 same development architecture. This one, this is a basic one, and this is an advanced one like architect level. Same way this is also infrastructure architect, means if you learn this 533, it is like a basic level and like a admin level, and this is like architect level. So, but later on, they have changed this certification codes. So what they have done, they named it an AZ100. Okay, AZ100 and 101. They split it into two certification. Why? Because initially when they started this Azure, very few services was there. So for few services, one certification is enough for them. And when the services are increasing, then they split it into two. And what is the reason for splitting into two? Because as you know, Microsoft will give training on these certifications also, official training. So for in their official training will be like only 5 days, 5 full days they will give training, 8 hours training. So in that 8 hours they cannot able to cover all these services. So as a business point of view, they want to split it so that 100 is separate course and 101 is separate. They are going to charge double to complete the certification. So that's why they split it into two. Okay, so same way here also, this also changed. This they named it as an A030 300, and then later they changed it to 303, and now this is become 104, this one. So currently the latest is 104 is an administration and 303 is architect. Okay, so these are the codes for the Microsoft Azure. So this is an architect level and this is an administration level. So combining these two, we are covering this Azure administration course. And if you go through this course, okay. So what we are going to discuss. So initially we are going to talk about the topology, like about Azure, and how to create a free account inside this Azure, and what is the subscriptions and resource groups inside this Azure we will discuss. Then we'll jump into the, basically we should start with the networking, but I don't want to start the classes with the networking. Why? Because I want to start with the creating of virtual machines, because networking is little bit tough for the new people who are coming to the infrastructure world. So the first class itself, I don't want to put into that like confusion state about discussing about networking. So I want to start with the VM creation and what is availability zone, what is availability sets, what is DR, all these things once we discuss. Once the virtual machine concepts are completed, then slowly we'll go into the networking concepts. So as we are discussing this administration point of view, then obviously we'll have a lot of networking concepts, like how we create a VM, how application will run, and how we'll create network design for our application, and what kind of firewalls we are going to create. And NSG means network security groups, restricting accessing from one network to the another network, how we can block it with the NSGs. And creating load balancers, how to access our application from the internet. For that we will create load balancers, and also we'll create application gateway. Multiple applications want to access, then we use application gateway. All these networking topics we'll discuss in detail with this live examples, like real-time scenarios we will discuss it, like okay. I'll create a account in the GoDaddy and buy a domain name in the GoDaddy, and with the domain name we'll configure our application, and how to access to the internet. All this stuff we are going to discuss. And whenever, if our machine is down, then what is the high availability for that? So it should be auto scaling, means if one server is down, our application should be always up and running. For that we need to configure auto scaling. Automatically one more server should come online with the application which is configured. So for that we call it as an VMSS. And a lot of storage accounts like Azure storage, same like in AWS, like whoever completed AWS, we have a EBS, EFS storage concepts, right? Same way here also we have a storage. So whatever the virtual machines we create, we attach storage volumes to the VMs. And same way like in S3 also we have in AWS, same way we can create S3 storages here. And how to configure disaster recovery, and how to take the backup of our VM. Once everything is running fine, we should take the backup of our VM. How we can take the backup also will configure. And another important service is database. In Azure, how to create a database, how to maintain it, also it is important. And as I said previously, like when this manager, like data center, whoever is managing, previously they used to work lot of engineers like Linux admin, database admin, network admin, and storage admin, Citrix admins, lot of teams were there. But once if you move to the cloud, you don't need those many admins. For example, if you are working as a database administrator, we don't require any database administrator in the cloud. Cloud engineer can able to manage the database. Okay, they no need to run any SQL queries, lengthy queries, no need to run. So maximum Azure itself can able to manage it. So if you have little bit of knowledge, and you don't need any storage engineers who are managing SAN, okay, storage, they also not required in the cloud once it is moved to the cloud. And Azure App Services, like instead of we create a VM and configuring everything, so everything we can create platform as a service. We'll discuss in tomorrow's class what is IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. So automatically it will create the application, and it will provide the service application. How to create this also we'll discuss. And another important thing is Azure, in Azure Active Directory is very important. How to configure, and what is the difference between Azure Active Directory and normal, like if you install a Windows operating system, on top of that if you create a Active Directory, what is the difference? How to configure this Active Directories also we'll discuss. So like this many other services, and we'll discuss little bit about the containers like Docker. Here also we can create that containers inside this Azure. And finally, how to monitor after configuring everything, how you are going to monitor and how you are going to get alerts if anything is down or if your application is not working, how you are going to configure monitoring for your application and for your infrastructure resources also. We are going to discuss about this one. Okay, so this is about the course curriculum. And coming to the account creation, uh, exactly, by default Azure will give you one free tier account, but we need to create it. Azure free account. So if you type Azure free account, you just go with this first link. Okay, so here if you see start free, so you can click on start free, but you should have credit card or debit card to create an account, free tier account. They will charge you 2 rupees. And so actually it is taking my account, that's why it is showing you can go as pay as you go pricing. Okay, I will go to the incognito mode. And so Azure free tier. Sorry guys, I'm working in Netherlands, so that's why it is taking some Dutch language. Okay, so let's create your free account. Okay, this one. So start free. Once you click here, so it will ask your basic details, and first email ID it will ask. So as of now, I don't have any email ID. If anyone ping me your email ID so that I can just show you how to create an account here. If anyone pings your email ID, and you will get one OTP, again you need to give me that OTP. If anyone is interested, you can share your well, one is enough. Okay, one is enough. I'm taking KP Prasad email ID. Again, you need to give me that code. You are going to get the code. So I'm just providing one password. So just giving one password to this one. Maybe you might have account with this email ID. That's why it is not allowing me. Can you share me the code which you got? KV Prasad, you might got one code to your email ID. Nine five two 4705. Okay. So whenever you provide email ID and you will select create new account, then it will ask you to provide your these details. So here by default it's selected as Netherlands for me. You can select India, and you can provide some basic details, your name and last name and email ID, and you can give your phone number. So if you give your phone number, then it will ask for an OTP. Okay. So uh, Prasad, can you give me your phone number so that I can share it here? 970. Okay, you are going to get OTP. Then just here you can click on text me so that it will send one message so that we can enter it here to confirm. So please ping me that verification code which you got. Okay, 836930. 836930. Verify code. So once verify code is done, then it is asking some organization name. Just you can give anything, and PAN card is not required. And you can provide details like wherever you stay. I'm just giving city Hyderabad and state is Telangana. Some random pin code. Okay. So understand. And the next, after providing the basic information, this time identify verify verification by card. So here you need to provide the debit card or credit card details. Okay. So whoever doesn't have a credit card, they can use debit card, but sometimes they will charge you 100 rupees from your debit card. Okay. But the problem with the debit card is sometimes they don't allow to create accounts with a debit card. Previously, I have listened like so many complaints from the previous users. So they mentioned that if they are creating account with a debit card, account is not getting created. So we cannot do anything. If you cannot able to create account with a debit card, no one can do anything. You should use credit card. That is only for few members, not for everyone. You can just give a try. But whoever is having credit card, then please use credit card only. Recommendation is use credit card, because if you use credit card, the account activation will not take much time. Immediately it will activated. But whoever using debit card, it will verify something, and sometimes it won't allow you to create this account. So, and another thing is sometimes they charge you 100 rupees from the debit card. If you are using credit card, they will charge you only 2 rupees. And here you need to provide the credit card details. Once it is verified, then your account will get created. Okay. So once your account is created, then once your account is created, you'll going to get some 15,000 rupees in your account, in your Azure account. You can use any service from your Azure account. Okay. as a free trial. So once free trial is complete, and this is for only 1 month. So after that, we can make it as a pay as you go, as a subscription. So this is, they will not charge anything, but until unless if you create any service and if you don't delete it on time, then they will charge you. For example, if I create one server and it is per hour 10 rupees, I create it for 1 hour, and if I delete it, then they'll charge you 10 rupees. So once you enable this subscription after finishing 1 month trial, like because this course will go up to 45 days, maybe this is May end, right? Almost it can go up to sorry, April, May, June. So 1 month after finishing this, still if you want to practice, we can enable this subscription. You may charge around like for practicing 1000 to 2000 rupees. Why? Because what are the services you are going to practice for 1 hour or 2 hours? Overall, whatever we are going to discuss, for them it will be like 1000 to 2000. If you delete on time, if you don't delete, then the price will be increased. So this is about the subscription part. I will show you clearly like from tomorrow onwards. Once we log into the Azure account, if you guys also create the Azure accounts, then tomorrow onwards we can follow the classes, because there will be no delay in practicing immediately. And I don't run any kind of PPTs theoretically, everything will be in the practical. So if you create account, then immediately you can follow my classes, and on the same day itself you can do practice, or else you'll be behind the classes, and again you will be confused like with the current topic and whatever you are going to practice. Okay, so this is about the course, and as we discussed, this is completely free, so you no need to pay anything. Daily you can attend the class and you can go through these sessions. This is about from my side. If you have any questions, you can ask. I'm just doing unmute. Okay, so whoever want to ask any questions, they can unmute yourself.
Sir. Hi, sir.
Hello.
Sir, have
Yeah.
you provided the recording session, sir? Hello?
Yeah.
Have you providing the recording session?
We did not think about the recording sessions as of now. We'll think about it, and our admin team will get back to you.
Thank you.
Sir, is certification is mandatory to become Azure administrator?
No, certification is not mandatory. You should have only stuff, whatever you keep in your resume, you should have that knowledge to answer them. No one will expect a certification.
And who can, sir, and who can become Azure administrator? Is there any prerequisite that should mandatory like to become Azure administrator?
See, for Azure administration, anyone can become. The prerequisite is basic some Linux knowledge or some basic Windows knowledge is enough. So apart from that, there is no education criteria like you should be a CSC background or MCA background, nothing like that. Anyone can become.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Sir, if you
Yeah, hi. Is
we
data
provide
center
a recording
contain
session
Jones
with
concept
benefit.
as well in Azure?
Sorry, data center?
Contains Jones as well, like
Yeah.
GCP. Yes, right. Each
Uh,
data center will contain Jones, right?
Yeah, correct. We have an availability zones and availability set concept here. That is also will be covered in this one. Like maybe when we talk about virtual machines creation, right? At that time, I will discuss about availability zone and availability set, difference between both.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
your
hi, are we going to get the certification?
When comparing with
at
Azure
the end
Data
of this course?
Engineering and Azure Administration, which one is better, sir? For better career?
What Azure administration and
Azure Data Engineering.
which one is best you are talking?
Yeah. So that's what I want. That is what I want to know that.
See, obviously Azure administration is more popular now compared to remaining things. Even Azure Data Factory, all this, like it depends. Like for example, if you are coming from the ETL background, you are working on data stage, then you go with the Azure Data Factory. So Azure is having multiple courses, so they prefer to learn Azure Data Factory. If you are coming from like Oracle database administrator or storage admin, Linux admin, Windows admin, then you prefer Azure administration. Or you are not from any IT background, like this is like first time you are going to do the, then you can go with the Azure administration.
Oh, thank you. Sir. Thank you.
Sir, PowerShell is needed for Azure administrator.
But hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, sir.
PowerShell, to learn this, it's not required. But if you know PowerShell, then it is more advantage. Like if you learn Linux, if you know shell scripting, then you will have more advantage, right? Same way, if you know PowerShell, you will be having more advantage. But it's not mandatory to learn. By learning this Azure administration course, nobody will expect you to have the PowerShell knowledge. But if you have skills, then it is at an advantage.
Okay,
So
sir. Thank you.
what is the difference between Azure administrator and Azure DevOps engineer? What differs?
Azure administrator is going to manage Azure DevOps also. Azure DevOps is also like one of the service providing by the Azure. Like virtual machine is one of the service providing by the Azure. Database is providing by Azure. Same way, Azure DevOps is one of the service providing by the Azure. So Azure DevOps is not the complete DevOps which you learn separately. That is different. And Azure DevOps is different. Azure DevOps having one service in the Azure. So
Yeah,
Azure Admin itself manage the Azure DevOps.
Okay,
so can we get the word? Hello.
Yeah.
Can we get the word file index file?
Word file. What kind of word file?
Index. Which one is you showed?
Syllabus, syllabus. What is the topics covered?
Syllabus. Yeah, I think already you got it,
Yes,
right? Whenever you got the email, I think you got an attachment.
No, sir.
Okay. You can ping the admin team. They will share it with you.
Are you
DevOps
DevOps
covered in this session?
No, not Kubernetes. See, Kubernetes is completely separate. It will be in the, either will come in the DevOps course, like we are providing AWS DevOps, in there it will come, or else it will be separately with the Terraform, Terraform and Kubernetes and Docker separate it will come. It will not include in the Azure. Azure is like, Azure administration is like purely Azure administration point of view. As I mentioned, 104 and 303, in this Kubernetes will not come.
Sir, is there any age criteria to get a job into Azure admin roles and positions?
Sorry, I did not get you. What criteria?
Is there any sort of age limitations to get a job into this Azure admin roles and positions into a company?
See, again, it depends. Like, for example, you already working on some IT background and you learn this new technologies. And if you're trying, then there is no age criteria. But if you don't have any IT background and this is the first time you're trying the job and your age is like, for example, 35, then companies might not prefer you. Okay. At least you should have some IT background. You might be working on different technologies. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah, got it.
Okay. One question. After attending this session, would an individual be able to clear the exam?
Guys, please go on mute. Whoever don't want to ask any question.
Sir, I'm not able to create card validation is failed. Can you help me?
Is there any?
Sir, can we get opportunities like as a fresher with this course?
Fresher, you can try, because some companies are expecting freshers also. At least you should have 1 year of gap between your education, then you can try.
Oh, sir, do we need to learn DevOps also to become Azure administrator?
No, to learn Azure administration, you no need to learn DevOps or any other things. Only you should have some basic Windows knowledge or Linux knowledge is enough. That's it.
It's completely different from Azure administration. DevOps is a different concept, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
So is there any course available related to Azure DevOps?
I had out. Hello.
Yeah.
Actually, I seen some of the JDs, but along with if any job requirements, they are mentioning almost all the DevOps tools along with this cloud. So, particularly as a Azure admin, is it possible really to crack the job only based on the Azure admin?
See, Azure admin, for everything you will have job, but again depends. For example, if I tell you, let's say Azure admin, okay,
Even for
plus
AWS also same kind of thing is we are seeing many of the tools they are also mentioning. Subject is highly mentioning, but below they are also asking all the many main tools.
yeah,
Like
for
Kubernetes,
example, if you
Terraform,
have
and
1,000
why it
jobs,
is.
so
Yeah.
from 1,000 jobs, mostly, for example, if you know multiple cloud like Azure and AWS, and if you know DevOps also, and if you know, for example, Python programming, then you are eligible for all the 1,000 jobs, because all the 1,000 jobs mostly it will be like some people will ask AWS with DevOps, some people will ask Azure with DevOps, some people will ask Python and DevOps. So if you know Azure admin with AWS with DevOps with Python, then you are eligible for all the 1,000 jobs. If you know only Azure admin, then you are eligible for maybe 100 to 150 jobs. So if you are only AWS, then you might be only having 100 jobs out of 1,000. So this way it will be categorized. So if you learn more like DevOps also, you know, and if you know Python also, and you are very good, like DevOps means include Kubernetes also. So if you are very good at Kubernetes also, then you are eligible for all the 1,000 jobs. Then you need to decide whether, okay, I learn one thing and I'll go and search for only those jobs which are available only for Azure admin, or maximum jobs if you want to apply, then you're like you need to learn all the things like DevOps, one programming, like not programming, like Python scripting, and two clouds, Azure and AWS cloud. So this is enough, so that you will be eligible for all the jobs that you
What
need to
about the
decide.
automation?
You are doing automation with this DevOps only, right? Like Terraform, you do Terraform to automate your infrastructure.
Ansible.
Yeah, that all comes under DevOps only, right? Terraform,
DevOps.
Ansible, all will come under
But they
DevOps.
are asking, sir. Actually, I see many of the GDs. They are asking almost all kind of things. The heading is this like admin or Azure admin or something. Azure AWS. But under this, all these things are there.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. If you know all these technologies, then you are eligible for all the jobs to apply. You will be shortlisted easily. Or if you know only one course or two course, then shortlist will be very less compared to others who know all these things.
What about the certification, sir? What is
See,
do your
Azure
certification? For example,
certification or
if you are already
AWS,
completed the AWS certification, is it necessary to complete the Azure certification also?
no certification. I don't recommend to write the certification. Only certification
Is
will
maybe,
check
sir.
by
Actually,
the.
many people are actually doing the applying for jobs. So for better opinion, something maybe for filtering the ourselves. That's like that.
No, in India, they don't consider certification by looking at the resume, what you have worked, what kind of technology you are, and what is your day-to-day activities. By looking at them, they will judge you, but not about the certification. But in
There is
abroad, like for
no
example, in US,
priority
UK,
or
they will
something.
consider the certifications, not in India.
Okay.
Hello, Praveen. This is Kiran here. Are you taking any DevOps training?
Another trainer like PR Reddy from our team, Valaxy team, is taking the AWS DevOps training.
AWS and DevOps, huh?
Yeah.
So is there any Azure DevOps
also
plan?
free?
Yeah, Azure DevOps is taking by I think Rohit
Mr.
Singh.
Rohit.
Yeah.
Sir, if we
Praveen, do you have any questions for the interview? Like,
Yeah, I'll provide you interview questions and I'll provide you some dumps also. Like, no, you don't need to go and write the exam, but dumps will help you to understand the question. Like, there will be a question and answer will be there. So if you understand the question, like as a customer point of view, one customer is coming to you and that is his requirement, so and so is requirement, then as an like engineer, how you are going to provide the service to them. So if you read those question and answers, dumps will helpful a lot, because as a customer, what is expecting and what you are going to provide, that will be like question and answers. If you read them, then easily you can crack the interviews also. That will help you a lot, reading the dumps.
yeah, because see,
How much
suppose
coding
the
knowledge
customer wants to
required for
provide the
Azure
PM.
administration?
Okay.
Like,
Praveen,
Yeah.
Praveen, do you provide any real-time projects while you teach the same admin process?
See, whatever I'm going to teach, that is completely what I designed in my current project. Okay, how to create a network, how to create firewall, all these things. So everything will be like it's real time only. If you learn whatever you do in your lab, right? Lab in the sense the account which you create, the same thing you are going to create in your like organizations. There is no separate way to create in a different way. So network means firewall and application gateway, everything will be the same.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So how many months it will take
Before
to become
attempting
Azure administrator if we put sincere efforts?
3
Any
months
idea?
after finishing these 2 months dedicatedly, if you are daily, whatever I'm teaching daily, you are learning. Apart from that, additional 1 month
Yeah,
is
if we
enough.
put daily 4 to 6 hours, how much time?
Yeah,
Like
2 to 3 months is enough.
okay.
Any
Yeah,
automation
hi.
you are
Before attempting
using to
this
create the
Azure
services, sir?
DevOps, is it really mandatory this admin certification?
Before doing what?
DevOps certification. This
Yes, yes,
admin
because
certification is mandatory.
AZ104 is
You
necessary
mean
for
Azure
Azure
DevOps,
DevOps.
AZ400 you are talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
Some basic certification is required. I think AZ900 is required to do
No,
that.
no, AZ100 only, sir. They're asking for.
100?
Yeah, 100
Okay.
or 104, I think so. Anyone.
Okay.
This
104 is like this administration.
Yeah, 104. After that, 400 Azure DevOps.
Okay.
So it's mandatory, right? Before attempting
Yeah,
DevOps
before doing
certification.
DevOps, one previously I heard it is what 900. Maybe they
Yeah.
changed it to 104 now.
Fundamental only.
Yeah, Rohit said
Yeah.
that 104.
No,
Okay.
it's 900 is the basic fundamentals and like 104 is the administration. Still, it's the same.
Sir, how
Sir, any
should we follow this
automation
course
are you teaching, sir?
to take
Any
maximum benefit?
I cannot able to understand. Multiple people are asking the same time.
Sir, how we should follow this course to take the maximum benefit, because it's a free course and we should be very serious.
Yeah, so daily once you finish the class, just practice it and implement whatever I'm teaching, because daily it will, after maybe tomorrow it will be little bit of practical, but after that daily you are going to have a lab, like means whatever I teach on that day, it will be practical only, nothing like theoretical. So on the same day you need to, if you finish, then only you can understand the next class. So you should be very serious, whatever you learn on that day, like next day you will start at 8 o'clock, right? So tomorrow, like completely you should practice that and be ready with the next class. Otherwise it is interlinked, like 15 classes, the first 15 classes will be interlinked. If you don't do practice, then you will lag behind, like, and you cannot understand what is happening. So you be serious and every day you do practice.
Sure.
Sir,
Thank
is
you.
there any
Thank you so much.
is there any possibility to give your personal email to contact any queries?
Sir, is there any doubt clarification section?
Doubt
Do you
clarification
provide the recorded
section.
session?
As of now, I did not think about it. I'll check based upon my time zone, because you know, right now, just now I logged out here at 5 o'clock now, like right now it is 6 o'clock. So based upon my availability, I will inform to the admin team and they will inform you.
Yes,
can
sir,
you give
because doubt
any email to
clarification
contact you,
section
sir?
is really matter. See, whenever we get any previous sessions doubts, right? If
Yeah,
we get
correct.
any errors or any for clarification,
Correct.
then it is very better to resolve the issues on time, or else we unable to understand the next concept.
So do you
Right?
provide the recorded sessions or classes only?
That, as I said, I did not decide it. Like admin team will contact you. So once we decide on it, we just thought of giving the free course, but we did not think much about like what kind of facilities we are going to provide. So our admin will team decide and we'll let you know.
Sir, can you
Sir, do
give
we have
any
any Valaxy technologies
I think
so that we
you
can
should discuss all these things over completing that course, not just at the start of the day.
For lab practice, how can we enroll, sir?
See, just now I showed you to create account, right? The same way you can create an account, and from like tomorrow onwards, I'm going to show you the practicals, and you should follow it and do the practicals. In the
Sir,
website
after 30
itself, that
days?
portal.azure.com itself, everything we'll do in that portal only.
Sir, after 30 days, it will be renewed, sir?
No, it will not be renewed. The 30 days trial period will be over, and we need to create a new subscription. And that subscription is like a chargeable. So whatever you create, it will be chargeable. But within 1 month it will be free, and the remaining lab practicals, whatever is left, you can use the pay as you go. It may charge you around 1,000 to 2,000 rupees. Okay, whatever you do
For
the
remaining
practical.
15 days, sir. For remaining 15
Yeah,
days.
correct.
For any PowerShell automation script are you using to create the services?
No, nothing inside this one.
Sir,
Sir,
will
any
you give
PowerShell
scenario-based questions to
using
solve
any
real-time
PowerShell?
problems?
That
I
process
didn't.
have to do after 30th, after 30, the 31st day, na?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Sir,
At
will
that
you
time,
give scenario-based questions to solve the real-time issues in the
Yeah,
Azure
I will give
administration?
you.
Okay.
And
Can
don't
you give
assume
any
that this
personal
is a
email
free
to?
course, so we can just do this as a time pass. So whatever
Yes,
you
yes, sir.
get in the 20,000 rupees chargeable outside, if you go to any big organizations like big training institutes, the same thing you are going to get here, little bit extra only. So don't underestimate that. Okay, if it is free means the quality or will be compromised, or they are going to just teach a basics. Don't assume in that way. The same thing, more than that, whatever you get for 20,000 from the other big institutes, same thing you are going to get it. So it's up to you how we are going to utilize it. Okay.
Sir, all the
Sure,
services,
sir.
whatever
It's a
we are
very big
using.
thing. Yes.
So ARM
Yeah, sir,
template
that's
or
why.
PowerShell are we using, sir? ARM template or PowerShell are we going to use?
Yeah, I will show you ARM templates.
Praveen, actually, from tomorrow is the main class are started. Na?
Yes,
So
correct.
please set some protocol to ask the doubts. Actually, between the classes means it take too much time. So please
You
set
mean
some
in between
protocol.
the session or after finishing the session?
As whatever it is, in between the session, or maybe many people are
Yeah, it's
asking.
better
So like
after
this,
finishing
maybe
the session,
you
if
know
I
very
take
well.
the questions, then it will be
So
good,
please tell
because
them. Please set some protocol to us.
yeah, correct. The crowd is more, right? So that's why even
Yes,
like
yes, almost 300 people reached it.
Praveen,
providing
please
yeah.
mute everyone once you join. Don't even allow anyone. Like once
Yeah.
you're done with the session, then you can open like the option to ask the questions.
Or
Until
you
that,
may
no one
read
given a
the chat
chance.
box, at least something, some kind of protocol. Means if you start the anyone enable thing, everyone's everyone
Yeah,
asking.
tomorrow onwards, I'll do the same thing. I'll mute everyone like initially. I'll allow after finishing the session, the same way I'll take the questions and I'll finish it out.
Sir, can you provide any email to contact personally?
The material are you providing?
Yeah, I'll provide the material also.
Sir, can you provide any email to contact you personally? Is there?
Personally, you can contact the admin team. We have a like as per like policy, I cannot share my personal details. So we have our like, you can contact the admin team, or like a separate mail ID is there from the Valaxy. You can reach there. Like I will respond to that mail.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Please think about the sharing videos. These are all very helpful for us if we stuck in any place.
Yeah. Okay.
We can revive
Yeah, that
those videos.
I am not the responsible. Like Valaxy team is going to discuss and they will get back to you.
Actually,
Okay.
beyond this, actually many of the people are there paid people, so they will put something videos, everything.
How we will contact your admin team?
They will put that money.
Guys, anyone from the admin team like on this call?
What, Praveen?
I am just checking like admin team is available or not in this call. You have that Valaxy number, right? Valaxy contact number. That is like admin contact number. So you can ping to that number. They will reply to you.
Thank you, Praveen.
Yeah, tomorrow also same link. Okay. Daily it will be the same link
It is
to
better
use it.
to create one group and sharing some queries for
Yeah,
all of us. Which
we'll
is
develop
for
day by day. Like we'll see couple of days how many people are seriously interested. Based on that, we will filter it out, and then we'll create a group with the serious people. Then we'll discuss that one.
because this Azure cloud is one of the demanding skill and new for who are joining. That's why it is very helpful for us.
Yeah.
Can you share us that interview questions so that we can?
Yeah, once I finish like in between of the course, okay, I will share it everything whatever I have.
Will provide the recognition.
Yeah, this is already answered. Like Valaxy team will discuss on it and they will get back to you on this. Okay.
Yeah, is there any
So,
course like yeah, after this course, Docker and Kubernetes after
Sorry, I
this
did
course?
not get you. Docker and Kubernetes?
You will be explained.
No, Docker and Kubernetes will not come under Azure administration course. That is a separate course.
No. It's after this course.
Sorry, I did not understand.
After the 104 course, are you planning to say like Docker and Kubernetes free course?
See, again, it depends upon my, see, as I told earlier, I'm working in Netherlands. So okay, my time zone is different and Indian time zone is different. So if I have time slot available, then I'll plan Docker and Kubernetes. But you can get the same thing in the Devops course also, which Valaxy team is providing. In that, you can find Docker and Kubernetes. We did not launch any separately Docker and Kubernetes as of now.
Sir,
Hey, Praveen.
Yeah.
for the
Earlier
remaining
you
15
mentioned that for prerequisites, so we need to have Linux awareness and as well as Windows, right? So what kind of Windows knowledge that we required to continue in this course? Is that like Windows OS or
Like
Windows?
some basic Windows OS, that's it. Checking the IP address, okay, like CMD commands will open it, right? Some basic
Oh,
stuff, that is enough.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
got it. Thank
Sir,
you.
after 30 days, for the remaining 15 days, how much we have to pay, sir?
You no need to pay. Whatever you create the resources, they will charge you for that resources. So whatever the topics are left over, right, for those topics, if you practice and if you delete on time, then overall approximately it will be like 1000 to 2000.
For the remaining 15 days.
Yeah, approximately. But for example, if you create a resource and you forgot to delete it and you realized after 4 to 5 days, then the bill will be high. That will be like your problem. Like you need to create and practice it, delete it immediately, then very less amount they will charge. Like per hour 10 rupees means 10 rupees only it will be charged. But if you forgot to delete, then every hour the billing will be raised, and until unless you delete it, by that time it will become huge bill. So be careful when you go to the pay as you go. Then whatever you create, delete it immediately after practice.
I mean, these 45 days classes are continuous classes, like
Monday
Sunday,
to Friday.
Saturday.
No,
Monday
Monday
to
to
Friday.
Friday. Yeah.
Same time, 8 to
Same time, 8:30 to 9:30.
9:30 IST. Okay.
And the meeting code also same, right, Praveen?
Yeah, same. Meeting URL is also same.
Okay.
Sir, any coding knowledge required for this
No, not required.
Praveen, the credit is 15,800, no? So
Yes.
once we complete that, it's for 1 month.
Yeah, 1 month.
Okay.
Sir,
Then we
after
have
1
to
month,
upgrade. We have to click that link like upgrade to pay as you go subscription, that we need to enable to
Yes, correct.
continue the service.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Praveen, one more query from my end. We are giving credit card or debit card information, right? While we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So after credit limit is over, is there any in billing? Is there any auto debit option? Will be auto debited, or once we only clear the payment?
No, if your credit card is having limit, then let's say if you used around 5,000 rupees services, then they will deduct it from your credit card. Azure will do that. AWS will not do that. AWS will ask you to pay the bill, but if you don't pay the bill, they will not charge you anything. But Azure will deduct from your credit card if you use it.
If it is
it's
more
auto
than
debit, right, sir?
5,000.
Yeah, auto debited.
If it is more than 5,000 charges.
Not 5,000. I'm just giving an example. If
Okay,
it is
okay.
5,000 rupees and you're using that 5,000 rupees, then it will be auto debited from your credit card. Whether it's 1,000 or 2,000, whatever it may be.
Okay.
Someone is pinging a WhatsApp group to join.
So
It's not
these
from
are like
Valaxy. We are
it's
not
not
sure.
from Valaxy. So we did not created any group as of now. Okay, we let you know whenever we create it. Okay.
Praveen, just a question. After attending these sessions, are we able in a position to write an exam and get it certified as well?
I again see, end of the day, by learning the course you will understand it, but exam point of view is completely little bit different. So for that you need to learn the dumps only. Without preparing from the dumps you cannot clear the exam, because here how it will work you will learn, but exam point of view they will ask you question like, if this is the requirement and what you are going to prefer and what is your suggestions, which one will be suitable to the customer, this kind of questions will be there.
Okay.
So
Okay. So tell me one more thing. So are your dumps are sufficient enough to write the exam, and it will be a straightforward questions from the dump, isn't it? Or it will be analytical questions more
no,
or
if
less?
you know dumps then easily you can crack the exam.
Oh, absolutely. Fantastic. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, right now,
What is the difference between Azure Admin and Azure Architect?
Administration means whatever the task sums. For example, one virtual machine is down, administrator will go and check why this is down. He need to troubleshoot it, and database is not working. Some logs are coming. He need to troubleshoot it, or he need to create one virtual machine. He will go and create it. Architect means if a customer is coming new to the cloud and you are going to give a design to him before coming creating anything inside the Azure cloud, architect will decide how it will going to work and what kind of application, what kind of services they were using in their traditional data center and how it will fit into the cloud. He will design everything. He is an architect.
Is there any chance under the syllabus any concepts are
Sorry, any chance of
covering up those concepts in architecture like building?
Yeah, we are discussing about this architects also. Both, yeah.
Hello,
Okay,
sir.
guys. So we'll
I
meet
have a
tomorrow.
I have one request.
Yeah.
Yeah, can next time tomorrow can you restrict some options to the participants? Like today classes we are seeing from the starting the sign
Someone has right.
It is a disturbance. Can you
Yeah,
restrict
even I
the
understand. Like I was not expecting this. They are writing on the screen.
yeah, not only this one. There are so many like recording, so many like that.
Yeah, correct. I can understand that. Yeah, tomorrow onwards, we'll make more strict on it.
Yeah, we will take care of that because we are using this meeting link newly. Even we are not aware much of these options. We will restrict most of the things for the candidates.
Sir, and this link for all the sessions, right?
Mostly we don't change any link for the sessions. If there is any changes, we will drop you an email. So please be aware that you are going to receive email if there is any changes. But as of now, we don't have any plan to change the meeting link.
So tomorrow you can join the same link, right?
Yeah, same link, but we could see that okay, there are multiple requests for recording and WhatsApp group and support. We will check and we will come back to you on this, how we can able to facilitate this. Definitely it requires some extra efforts. I'm just thinking how we can able to manage this. Okay, so we will come back on this one through email especially, or tomorrow session we will communicate how we can take it forward.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for your
Yeah, so
words.
actually in the DevOps I have taken the course, but that the recording system is very good, and I think the option is also very nice.
Yeah, thanks for that. But yeah, recordings, we need to maintain the little bit of infrastructure. That is what we are thinking. And moreover, the crowd is more. Whenever we say it is free, okay, unnecessarily many people will come and take it and they don't use it efficiently, where unnecessary burden comes on our head. We will just think about it. Okay, definitely we will try to give as best as we can. Okay, the overall intention is we want to provide the better service to the users or students so that they can able to get advantage. For sure you are not wasting your time. Okay, as Praveen said, even though it is a free course, we will give the more competitive course curriculum because we have prepared in such a way. At the same time, we don't compromise on the quality.
Yeah, we realized the last question to me. So like I have already taken like AWS plus DevOps. So like earlier I have taken the first batch in the phone. So I can be add this admin part as well for the phone.
Yes, you can do that one. That's not a problem. You become a multi-cloud DevOps engineer now once you learn the Azure DevOps. But yes, once you know AWS, learning Azure could be quite easy because same kind of concepts, maybe terminologies might change or service names might be changed. The working procedure could be same.
Because the first batch when I started, I have taken that the DevOps partition course. So like this, how could we? I can add this Azure admin.
Yes, it will be added.
So it be some advantage, right? So I can be like you can be do certification. So it be some more difference on
First,
the resume.
don't concentrate on certification unless you are thoroughly understand the concepts. Because if you concentrate on certification, you complete the certification, but you cannot clear the interview properly. Because what you work in the real world or what you are writing in the certification could be different. So don't think much about the certification. And overall idea over here is to give the real world experience, not about the certification. If you want to get the certification, yes, as Praveen said, there could be some terms you can go and get it, but that is not the intention behind this course. We want to provide the real experience of how the Azure administration works in the real world. That's what we more concentrate. So don't get confused, it is a certification course or what certification you complete. Trust me, you cannot complete the certification if you do this course, because we don't focus on certifications.
Thanks for giving
Hi
this
sir, Valaxy
free
team,
opportunity.
Valaxy tech team provide any help on getting placements?
Thank you so much, sir.
That we see whenever you are looking for a placement, okay, there are multiple things are involved. It doesn't mean that okay, I know Azure administration, can you place me? Okay, what is the job? Somebody is asking in the job description that okay, they are asking scripting, they are asking DevOps. Yeah, they will ask everything, but what you are learning, it doesn't mean that whenever we say administrative course, you will learn or you will get a job definitely, because there are different job kind of profiles which are available in the market. Whatever you have learned, if that is suitable for the job requirement, you will get the job. If something is missing out, yes, you need to fill that gap. That is what you need to look. Many people call us and ask that okay, if I learn this course, will I get a job or not? Okay, even nobody sure, because in the industry the technology is drastically changing. As long as you are open to learn new things or open to understand how the industry is going, okay, you cannot get that what exactly you need to get a job. So you just focus on that one. What we are giving is Azure administration. On top of that one, what you can add to get a job, that's up to you to decide and do that one. Yeah, obviously Azure admin plus DevOps will definitely helpful for you to get a job.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, hi. I came to know from the Azure DevOps is going to start in May. My request from my end, could you please start after this admin course? So it will be
By the
very
time this admin course could be completed around 30-35 days, then we start the Azure DevOps. That would be helpful for the people who has completed this Azure admin course, but that Azure DevOps could not be free. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Sir, is there any possibility of changing the timings like before 8:30 or 7? Is it possible?
As Praveen said, it is 5 o'clock for him, so it is a tight schedule where we could able to accommodate. Actually, we thought to start it in January itself, but we couldn't able to do because of the timings itself. So there is no possibility of changing the timings. Timings are strict to 8:30 to 9:30 or 9:45. Based on the questions, it can increase 10 to 15 minutes here and there. But the timing is 8:30 p.m. IST. That's it.
Okay.
Actually,
The
Manoj
timings
here.
are very good actually. People, I joined from UK, is very convenient time for us as well.
Yeah, because we have a global audience, so we will consider from the people Europe, India, and even from US as well. So even in the morning times also, we have the similar kind of timelines.
I was looking to join courses on the Valaxy Tech website.
In the payment option, there is no UPI payment. Can that be
We are working
included?
on new website actually. This is a predefined website where there is a restriction of using only credit card. Uh, Probably in next 15 to 20 days, we are planning to launch a new website which will have the enhanced features.
Okay, UPI also can be expected that time.
Yes, that's true.
Sir, with how many years we can go for the interview as a beginner? So we came from different backgrounds.
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Come again.
Okay, my question is, with, as a beginner, we are learning this course. With how many years we need to go to interview?
See, with this course, you will get 2 to 3 years of Azure experience. I mean to say, if a guy is working on Azure administration from past 3 years, whatever skill he acquired, similar kind of skill you acquire. Now it's up to you how much you want to maintain.
With this course, we can at least put 2 to 3 years, right?
Yes. Even more than that could be possible, but yeah, that would be definitely, we can say that 2 to 3 years you can easily manage.
And your Udemy
doubt,
courses are very, very best courses, sir, regarding jobs.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Thanks
you so
for
much for that.
Yeah, I have last question, sir. Last
Go ahead.
question. Actually, many serverless services is already came. So, what is the importance of manual services?
What, see, serverless services means, can you come again?
Yeah, that in Azure also we are covering that app services is related to the serverless services only. That we are going to talk when we discuss about app services, Azure app services. We'll talk about it. It will come in the last.
Manoj here.
Yeah.
So in this section, Azure section, is there any comparison you are going to teach the difference between AWS services and Azure
No,
services?
because no comparison, because most of, you see, right, the crowd, like most of the people might not aware about the AWS. So when we start comparing, those who don't know, they will be get confused.
Okay.
So that's why I'm not going to compare, and it's not good idea also. We should leave. You should unlearn and you should learn this Azure, because even you also, if you are already familiar with the AWS, don't compare. Like for few things you can compare it, but better to unlearn it and learn this Azure, so that it will be easy to understand. If you everything you are comparing, then you will get disturbed about it. You will not
No,
understand
I
what
am
is
also
in
not
Azure.
perfect in AWS. So
Yeah.
you said the services look similar, only the terminology is changing. You said right.
Yeah, correct.
Like there's some terminology words you
Yeah.
are going to say or not. That is what I need to confirm.
Yeah, because every service, if we want to compare, means the session will go very lengthy. Okay, everything we cannot,
Okay.
until unless if everyone already knows the AWS, then only it is good idea to compare. But if no one knows AWS, they will confuse, like what is AWS, what is Azure, what is all this.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, I need to know that if we complete the Azure course, okay. So, is there any difference between Azure and MCSA course that were based on the Windows Server?
MCSA is Microsoft Certified System Administrator and System Engineer, related to the Windows Server Operating System, and this is
Okay.
completely Azure services. Okay, both are like completely different.
So, is there any similarity on any services?
No.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Rahul, sir. I have one question, sir.
Yeah.
How would Python will help to the Azure? And is it mandatory to learn Python?
Python is not required for this one.
So will it help if you learn Python? Will it help to our future? Like
yeah, it will. Python will always help.
Python is a scripting language. It's a scripting language.
See, in technology, whatever skill you learn, that will be definitely helpful. It doesn't mean that Python or something else. If you know extra skill, yes, that will be definitely helpful. There is no harm at all. Okay, just think that. And one more update, somebody is created a WhatsApp group. Okay, that's good idea to have a discussion, but that is not from Valaxy. But if you get any
Yes, sir.
spam or some
Or actually,
unrelevant messages,
it's created me only for just
yeah,
this Azure admin group. So
yeah,
we
that's
can
what I'm
discuss
saying.
ourselves, because sometimes if get error means someone have like more knowledge means he can easily solve the issues, right?
Yeah,
So
I can
that is
understand.
the-
Yes,
yeah.
you can do that, but if something is misused, we are not responsible, because behalf of the forum I'm telling.
Yeah, I
That
hope
is
that
not from.
everyone behave like a professional manner.
Okay, guys. So we'll meet tomorrow.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you
everyone.
so much for
Thanks,
joining
sir.
today's
Thank you.
session, and
Yeah.
we'll meet
It's a
again tomorrow in
wonderful
the same
section
link.
today.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Rishikesh.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thanks,
Thank you
Ella.
so much.
Manjunath, for
for your
taking
valuable time.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Thank you, sir.
Valaxy Technology team,
You are
for
the
providing
dynamic
this
person,
great
sir.
opportunity for free.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
No one is giving free course nowadays. So
Yes,
you
of
guys
course, sir. For
appreciate for
this
it.
course, are providing for free with advanced knowledge, right? Concepts as well.
Thank you
Okay.
guys,
Thank you.
and
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice
Have
evening. Bye.
a great day, sir.
Thank you, sir.